Hello, brothers and sisters. I want to share with you an introduction for Psalms chapter 30. We're going to tie in this psalm with our preparation for our special contribution because it's such an encouraging psalm. It describes God's grace for us, God's grace towards David. And I've entitled it Rescued. We want to give our contribution because we want to rescue others. We want others to be saved, as many as possible. And we are grateful that we're saved. And like David, we call for help and we gain God's blessing and assistance in our lives. And so a few of the verses I'll highlight just in the introduction is verse 1, talks about being rescued by God. I will extol you, Lord, for you lifted me out of the depths and did not let my enemies gloat over me. David is very grateful for God lifting him up when he was down, when he was low, when his enemies were surrounding him and he seemed hopeless, but God rescued him. And then also verse 2, he was healed. Lord my God, I called to you for help and you healed me. And in this handout, we've got both the NIV and the Message translation, just for your consideration, just for you to maybe be able to see how it could be applied to our lives, and a little different version. And the NIV is obviously more accurate to the original language, but the Message Bible is in our common vernacular and a common understanding of these verses. And so I've included both. Verse 5 says, for his anger lasts only a moment, but his favor lasts a lifetime. Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. That's one of the very famous verses in this Psalms 30 and verse 5, that there may be mourning for the night, but joy will come in the morning. So we can always look forward to our suffering ending and our mourning being limited, and God rescuing us from whatever situation we're in. Verse 10 says, hear, Lord, and be merciful to me. Lord, be my help. We've got to seek God's help. Life's too tough without him, and yet he'll be there for us. He'll rescue us, and he'll be our helper. But we need to ask according to his mercy and according to his grace. We don't deserve to demand anything from God, but we ask for pardon and blessing because he's a gracious, faithful God. And then verse 11, we're thankful. You turned my wailing into dancing. You removed my sackcloth and clothed me with joy. So instead of mourning, he's dancing. So what a great psalm for us to prepare our hearts and minds for our special contribution. This psalm describes the amazing grace of God, how it helps, how it heals, brings health, brings happiness, and brings hope. And our response should be worship and praise and reverence and faith and gratitude. And that's especially important as we prepare to give the missions contribution. There's a couple of questions I want us to discuss. What are some of the reasons that we give special contribution? You know, why do we give to the Baltic Nordic Mission Society in Bakersfield? And for local missions, we're going to give $65,000 to the Baltic Nordic Mission Society for the churches in the Nordic countries and the Baltic countries. And we're going to continue to support Bakersfield, our sister church, with $25,000 that helps them with their salaries. And then we're hoping to set aside $10,000 for local missions. Just some of the things that come up as far as expenses for summer interns or expenses for summer camp or hope participants, that kind of thing. And so what are some of the reasons that we give? And then what are the motives that we should have to give? What are some of the reasons that we give? And then what should be the heart? What is God looking for from our heart and motives when we give? And so I hope you have a great midweek. I think that this psalm will be encouraging and uplifting, and you can have a tremendous discussion with your brothers and sisters in your small group. God bless you, church. We're having a great time on Sunday. I know many people are enjoying the virtual service, but also we are having a great turnout here at the building and keeping our safe distances, and yet it's so good to worship together and see one another. So have a great midweek. God bless you, brothers and sisters. Amen.